But how's this for eerie? On the same morning that Hulk Hogan passed away, Vince McMahon, who made more money off Hulk Hogan probably as Hogan did him than any other single person in WWE history, was involved in a bad car accident that had he not been wearing his seatbelt, he would not have walked away from. Can you imagine Hulk Hogan and Vince McMahon dying on the same day? And this is just another good PSA, by the way. Always wear your seatbelt. Seatbelts save lives. Thankfully, no one was injured as a result of this. TMZ broke the story. The incident happened around 9 a.m. in Connecticut on Thursday. That being Thursday, July 24th, not this past Thursday. According to a crash report obtained by TMZ, McMahon's 2024 Bentley was traveling northbound on Route 15 in Westport when it rammed into the back of a 2023 BMW 430 and collided with a median wooden beam guardrail. Debris from the collision flew into the left side of the two-lane highway, and a third vehicle, a Ford Fusion moving southbound, then ran into it. The force of the impact was so severe the airbags were deployed on McMahon's Bentley and the BMW. And the report stated that all three drivers were wearing their seatbelts. All three cars needed to be towed from the scene, and there was about 30 feet of damage to the median guardrail. McMahon was issued a misdemeanor summons for reckless driving and following too closely, resulting in an accident. He will have to appear in court in late August. McMahon went on to mourn Hogan's death later in the day, as he was instrumental to the Hall of Famer's career. I saw the crash photos that TMZ posted. It was very ugly. The BMW sustained some bad damage, but nothing like Vince's Bentley. I mean, that car was fucking totaled. Like, you could see all the mangled, twisted metal. Now, the woman who was driving the BMW, who was the victim of McMahon driving like a maniac, she's lucky to be alive. Her name is Barbara Doran. She took to her Facebook page and posted the following about the incident. She has since taken this down, but this is what she posted. Lucky to have survived a horrific car crash on the way up to catch the ferry to Martha's Vineyard last Thursday. Both cars totaled. Vince McMahon, former chair of WWE, hit me going 80 to 90 miles an hour as I drove in the right lane of the narrow Merritt Highway, built in the 1930s. I love how descriptive she is in this post. She must be an author. I and the dog are mostly fine, but was lucky to have kept control of the car, more or less, as I shot off the road after being catapulted over 100 yards. An unmarked state trooper had been following him as he sped in and out of cars down the highway and had just turned his lights on to pull McMahon over, but he was not in time. Both front wheels of McMahon's Bentley were sheared off and his airbags deployed, probably saving him from significant injury. The trooper told me afterwards that McMahon saw me last minute and swerved, smashing into my left rear, but that if he had hit me full on, there might have been a very different ending for me. Amazing that no other cars were hit and that I got out of the car hand shaking for a good 20 minutes, but otherwise seemingly unscathed. Stiff neck later, and full battery of hospital scans and blood work. Time will tell, I am told. Oddly, Hulk Hogan, who made McMahon's fame and fortune, died about the same time as the accident. The accident happened around 9 a.m. Hogan was pronounced dead a little after 11, so not quite, but close enough. So this fucking guy is out there driving his age down the highway, actually even more than his age, swerving in and out of traffic like a lunatic with a cop behind him. I mean, the stories of him being a crazy man on the road have been out there for years. You know, Jim Ross in his first book tells the story of riding with Vince in his Cadillac, doing 90 miles an hour, blasting AC/DC and almost bumping cars from the rear just to get them to move over. And so I could just imagine, JR is probably sitting there shitting his pants with piss running down his leg. And he says Vince is dancing in his seat. He's blasting AC/DC and dancing in his seat and telling him, I'm an amazing dancer for a white man. And ripping protein farts like it's an Olympic sport. Until the cops pulled him over. This is actually a great story. So, in the midst of all of this chaos, he gets pulled over. And he tells the cop, I'm Vince McMahon, and this is good old JR. And JR is thinking, like, I've got a fucking name, like he's calling me good old JR. But Vince is like, he's like, pumping his chest. He's telling this guy who he is, like he's supposed to be impressed. And the cop goes, "You're Vince McMahon, huh? Well, I guess that makes me the big boss man." And he hands him the ticket. And then as soon as the cop pulls away, he starts driving like a maniac again. Like to the point where JR tells him later on, like, "Look, I love my children and I want to see them again. I'm not riding with you anymore. It's not worth it." And I know Jim Cornette told a similar story once about Vince being pulled over for speeding. Only in that one, he was so mad that he spun out while he was pulling away. This was after the cop pulled him over. He's like on the side of the road, and he pulls out so fast that he spins out, and all Cornette could see is all the rocks and the dirt and the debris getting kicked up right in the cop's face. And the cop didn't even pull him over again. Like he didn't know what to do. Nobody wanted to ride with him anymore. They wanted to live. Fucking Court Bauer of MLW. He used to be on the WWE creative team. Court Bauer told the story once of when he was working there, of how Vince came up to him in the parking lot outside Titan Tower one night and challenged him to a drag race. And what's he going to do? Say no to the boss? So they race, and he catches up to Vince, and Vince tries to run him off the road because Vince McMahon does not like to lose. Like so much so that he was willing to run his own rider off the road. And this isn't even the first time that he's wrecked a Bentley. 7 or 8 years ago, I talked about it on the Sound Off at the time. He was about a mile away from Titan Tower, and he crashed his car. I remember that because there was a photo of him walking away. He was kind of like lurched over. It looked like someone snapped a photo of Bigfoot. He probably walked all the way back to the office. This man is going to turn 80 years old in a few weeks, and he still hasn't changed. He's no better than these idiots that drink and drive. I see it all the time. It's even worse on Long Island when I'm out there, like the really aggressive drivers that have no patience and they just weave in and out of traffic. Like, it's amazing that more people don't get killed. Like, you can be the best driver in the world, not even so much as a parking ticket, and it doesn't matter because you're surrounded by people like Vince McMahon.